I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Who's ready for some noodle pudding? Crochet. At least that's what we called it when I was growing up. This is a recipe given to us by my godmother, Elizabeth. It is Armenian macaroni and cheese. I'm not going to try to pronounce the authentic name for it, but it is delicious, I can tell you that. So let's get started. You'll need 1 package of medium egg noodles. You're going to need a half a stick of unsalted butter. You're going to place a little bit of butter, about a half a stick, on the top of the noodle pudding once you put it together. Then you're going to need 1 pound of white cheese. It can be Monterey Jack. It could also be white cheddar, whichever one you would prefer. You're also going to need 3 eggs. Now when it's time to put the cheese mixture together, those eggs will need to be beaten. You're going to need to use parsley. Now we prefer to use flat leaf parsley, but if all you can find is the curly parsley, either one will do. Just make sure you don't get cilantro because that would change the taste of the recipe tremendously. You're also going to need 1 pound of cottage cheese. Now, I know there's people that don't like cottage cheese, but I'm going to tell you, even if you're not a fan of cottage cheese, you will not taste it in this recipe. So don't let that stop you from trying it. I'm sure you've guessed it by the noise. Time to boil those noodles and cook them until they're tender. Then you're going to drain them and rinse them with cold water. Alright, you're either going to shred the cheese or use pre-shredded cheese. Mix that together with the cottage cheese and the 3 beaten eggs and divide that into 2 portions. Now you're going to take half of the egg and cheese mixture and place that on top of the noodles. After you do that, you're going to place the remaining noodles on top of the egg and cheese mixture. Then you're going to place the rest of the egg and cheese mixture on top of that. Now it's time to take the parsley and just go ahead and cut that up and sprinkle that on top of the egg and cheese mixture along with the half a stick of butter. You're just going to go ahead and slice the butter and place it all over the top of the egg and cheese mixture. Now it's time to place it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until it is slightly golden brown. So it may take a little bit less or a little bit longer depending on your oven. Doesn't it look delicious? Believe us, it is. It doesn't have to be a holiday to enjoy this delicious dish all year through. It can also be something that you can go ahead and put together earlier in the day or the day before, and then go ahead and put it in the oven when you're ready to cook it. We would suggest you take the noodle pudding out of the refrigerator about a half an hour before you're going to place it into the oven, just so it takes the chill off the noodle pudding, as well as the dish that you have made it in. You can also double this recipe as well and place it in a 9x13 pan. It makes for great leftovers as well. You can also place the leftovers in the freezer, but usually it doesn't make it to the freezer because it is eaten for several days after it is made if there's any leftovers. I was so blessed to be able to call Elizabeth and Newbar my godparents. The memories of being able to go to their home as well as them coming to my grandparents' home. We would be sitting around the table with my parents and grandparents, and when we went to their home, their family as well. We always had delicious food, you could guarantee that, because Elizabeth was an amazing cook. But more importantly, the laughter and the memories and the wonderful conversations we had around the table were such a blessing. I was very close to 2 of their grandchildren, Christy and Mary Beth. And I can't tell you the amount of memories I have of swimming in the pool both at their house as well as my grandparents' house. when they would come down to visit their grandparents. It is memories I will treasure for the rest of my life. We are still in touch with Elizabeth and Newbar's daughter, as well as Mary Beth and Christy, which is Elizabeth and Newbar's granddaughters. When Christina got married back in August of 2022, Mary Beth and her husband came up here from Florida to celebrate this special occasion. They were also tremendously helpful to our family during that wonderful time as we celebrated the joining of Christina and Jared. So we hope that you and your family will enjoy this recipe as much as we have over the years. To Elizabeth and Newbar, this girl could not have asked for more loving and special godparents. I miss you both, and I will always love you. Thank you so much for being such special godparents to this girl. So enjoy the recipe, and remember, be proud of being yourself because everyone else is taken. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook required. And if you try this recipe, and we hope you do, in the comments below, let us know how you liked it. Enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, y'all.
So proud of me.